Peace to everybody. This is about a video. A 9-year-old girl flung into the air at Yellowstone Park by charging bison. And of course, I saw it on the news earlier, and it was a tragic that this bison took this 9-year-old girl and flung her right into the air. I mean, it was horrible. A 9-year-old girl had a close encounter with a bison at Yellowstone National Park that literally sent her flying. The girl was treated by park emergency workers and released from the Old Faithful Clinic, though the extent of her injuries were not confirmed. Yeah, so the 9-year-old had a close encounter with a bison at a Yellowstone National Park. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Never, ever, ever get close to a wild animal because you never know what they're going to do to you. They're dangerous. They could do harm to you. They could do harm to your family. Just please do not go near any wild animals that you think are safe because they're not safe. And of course, the Old Faithful Clinic thought the extent of her injuries were not confirmed, of course. The incident, which was caught on camera, happened Monday when the girl was with another 50 guests around the Old Faithful geyser. A bison prompted onlookers to take pictures and record videos of the large animal. And that is a bad mistake to do, is take pictures of a bison or record a video, because you never know when these animals are going to come charging at you. And of course, there was 50 guests, or another 50 guests around the Old Faithful geyser as well. And the bison was prompted onlookers to take pictures and record videos of the large animal. But the bison began to get worked up and charged into the crowd. While most of the guests were able to get out of the way, it eventually hit the girl and sent her flying through the air. Yes, so the bison got all worked up because these pictures and videos were taken. And of course, it's going to disturb the bison. I mean, they don't like to be bothered. They just want to be left alone. And of course, the guests were able to get away, but the girl was not so lucky to get out of the way quick enough. And why didn't the parents just go back, grab the girl, and boom, run off with her? But no, instead the parents leave the 9-year-old girl there, let the bison fling her in the air, and just didn't even realize of what's going on because the parents were too busy scattering. One of the onlookers, Haley Dayton, recorded the incident and posted online. And of course, this is the bison that flung the 9-year-old girl in the air. And of course, there's a onlooker named Haley Dayton. I'm not going to play this video, but this is the bison that was disturbed and of course prompted the onlookers. And of course, this is what happens. It charged after the girl. While the incident is under investigation by park officials, this is not something new for Yellowstone National Park. Okay, so now you got it's under investigation right now by park officials, and they said that it's not something new for Yellowstone. The National Park Service says Yellowstone is the only place in the 48 lower states that house bison safely, is the only area to act as a home to these large animals since prehistoric times. Herds of bison are also allowed to openly roam the park in relative freedom. This has led to incidents in the past with park goers getting a little overzealous with bison when visiting. And of course, the National Park Service's Yellowstone is the only place in the 40 lower states. But still, it's not a good idea to get close to an animal because it will harm you. It will charge at you, anything it has to do whenever it's disturbed. And of course, home of these large animals since prehistoric times, but of course we don't know anything much about prehistoric times except what we know about it. Um, Herds of bisons are also allowed to openly roam the park in relative freedom, but but still, yes, they are allowed to roam freely. But that does not give the park goers permission to get close to the animal. You're supposed to be like, I don't know, 10 feet away, 50 feet away from the animal. One of the most recent incidents involved a man from Oregon who got out of his car to begin taunting a bison that was crossing a road that passed through the park in August of 2018. The man was sentenced to 130 days in jail. So, yes, so see, this is what happens. One of the most recent incidents, it was about a man from Oregon who got out of his car to begin taunting a bison. So that's what happens. And of course, he got sentenced to 130 days in jail last year. So this is why you should never, ever go to a wild animal up close, because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to get sentenced to jail either way. And it's always a bad idea to never ever get close to a wild animal. So before you start thinking about excuse me, getting close to an animal, ask yourself, should I or shouldn't I? And I think the answer is right there with you. The answer will be no. Don't ever get close to an animal like that, because you never know when it's going to harm you or your family. Leave your comments below. I am out.